Something waits within the shadows, like an army in the night. Lock the doors and board the windows. Oh, oh, a storm is coming.
Due to the actions of 28 states against women in our rainbow community, multiple countries have started offering amnesty to U.S. refugees. We are hardly the land of the free when fascists are infecting our government.
So this is how liberty dies. With thunderous applause.
Why are we not on the streets? I recorded on the other account on this very subject and the limitations that many Americans are experiencing that explain why we are not on the streets yet. In Tennessee, we already see Gen Z infiltrating, invading the house, if you will, making sure that their voices are heard, because I think they recognize that it is one of their last opportunities to ensure that their voices are being heard before they continue to sustain losses. The rest of us is still too complacent, sitting at home with our asses on the couch, not yet motivated enough to make a dent and go out and say, you know what, you fucked around, now you're going to find out. We still have too much to lose, because they have kept us in the balance for the longest time. While they accumulated riches, we have not lost enough to the degree that it becomes existential. But we're getting closer. And there will be a breaking point at some point in the probably near future that we don't care if we lose the rest. And when you look at how legislation is being forged right now, I think that losing the rest is actually not that far away. And then it's going to get interesting, because the division between the haves and the have-nots, that gap, if you will, is widening at such rapid speed that the haves may have also some military assistance on their side. But the have-nots also have military assistance on their side, because many of our military members are on social programs. They are experiencing all kinds of hardship. And I think we're going to find a division there. The militia is, fuck that. Nobody with an AR-15 is going to come to your rescue. It looks good on paper, and they're going to feel emboldened and their ball sacks hanging out to their knees. And we're going to make a difference, not against a military member who's better armed, better trained. But notwithstanding that, at some point we're going to lose so much that it doesn't matter to us if we lose the rest. That's when we're going to find out that we are actually coming together, and we're going to turn the US either in a massive 50-state battlefield, or we're going to, in one way or another, succeed because we have less to lose than those who have it all. That's why we're not on the streets yet. But once we are, the damages, of course, will be irreversible. It will be bloodshed. Lives will be lost to a variety of degrees. And of course, I hope that it doesn't come to that, which is why I'm so adamant on the other account, if you will, that we have to vote. It's our responsibility. We may still have a choice and a chance. But if we don't, then the only choice and the only chance to bring the regime to a fall is that which is written in the books of history. And that is usually through some bloody intervention. It's not a good outlook, for sure, but yeah, I think that's why we're not on the streets yet, but why we might be on the streets before too long. That is 100% true. The way that the US police is outfitted already suggests more of a military function than an actual policing function. They are trained to see anybody who is either objecting to their demands or commands as a substantial threat, whether armed or not. They don't even care to truly verify. And of course, it is difficult to make a generalized statement because there are good cops out there. But it seems that slowly but surely the majority of cops are turning out to be either indifferent or on the wrong side of the law. So what would happen if we have an uprising? We will definitely go down in flames. So for me personally, the only way to get out of this entire fiasco that drives us into fascism is by economically wrecking the entire country, bringing everything to a grinding halt. And that we can do selectively, targeted, and very effectively. What's it gonna take, guys? books being banned, teachers being vilified, principals forced to resign because they showed the statue of David. School shootings are ramping up. In Tennessee, students came together, stormed the Capitol, wanting to ensure that their voices are being heard just to be ignored. 3 lawmakers declaring solidarity with the victims, walking the streets with the protesters, now at the risk of being expelled. In Florida, firearm-related deaths after 2005, when the stand your ground laws were introduced, have increased substantially, yet DeSantis is signing into law the constitutional right to carry. Across the nation, we find the LGBTQ community legalized out of existence, persecuted at legal levels before it becomes physical levels. The BIPOC community is broadly fighting against Jim Crow laws. ICWA is under attack at Supreme Court level. Roe was overturned. Women have lost their rights back to the 70s. A federal judge in Texas decided that insurance companies no longer have the obligation to pay for preventative care. Mifepristone is under review, and it may very well also be kicked out. And what's it going to take? Because millions upon millions of Americans are going to pay the price for our inaction, for our apathy, for our inability to assemble. And yes, we do see blips here and there of protests and of people coming together, but it's not long enough. It's not meaningful enough. It's not developed enough. The other side is laser focused on driving us over this cliff. That's their one and only mission, is to ensure that their godly morals and principles are being seen through. And we're just trying to somehow hold on to that speeding train rather than trying to take control of the leading car. One of the Colorado creators posted a video today that the school board election has only 18% of votes received at this point. It shows a level of apathy that is going to continue the velocity towards fascism. And I'm wondering again, what is it going to take for us to come alive, for us to get that fire under our asses, that we actually really do something? Do we really have to lose it all and then take several generations to come for everything to be rebuilt? Do we have to burn down the entire ship before we realize that we could have actually sailed it? What the fuck is it going to take, guys? You tell me, because I don't know. Give me a hint, and I'll happily work on that.